Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be going over autopilot in a Tesla Model Y. So I know a lot of people have actually asked me the question before, can this car actually drive itself? The answer is yes. So today I'm going to be going over some key features about autopilot, how it works on a Model Y. So I'm going to go over city street road. I'm going to go over the freeway, how autopilot works on the freeway, and actually I think I'm going to actually have to test how autopilot works on an unmarked road. It's going to be able to identify all those lanes, and yeah, pretty much just tell you what I think about it. Coming right up. So one thing I would really want to say here is that whenever autopilot is enabled, you will be able to see, like, a little steering here. But right now, because this road is unmarked, so that's why you can clearly see that there's no autopilot here. And by the way, if you're new to autopilot is just a feature in a Tesla that enables you to pretty much drive the car without so much interaction. So the car can pretty much drive itself. So if the feature of autopilot is available on the street, you will be able to see a wheel right here on the screen telling you that autopilot is actually available. But right now we do not see that, and it's because autopilot is not available on the street. And another question that a lot of people ask me is, so if you plug in an address and you tell the car, okay car, I want you to go to this address, can the car actually get there? The answer is no. The car will not get there by itself, but the car can assist you to get there. It can, give you directions. It can tell you where you can use autopilot. So as of now, the car is not a fully autonomous vehicle. So as I was saying earlier, so right now we have this little wheel here. So that tells us that autopilot is available on the street. And in order to enable or to engage autopilot, I'm going to double tap on this gear selector twice, just like this, and now autopilot is engaged and the car is pretty much driving itself right now, because as you can see here, the blue is highlighted, so which means that the car is actually driving itself right now. So the first one we're going to start with right now is going to be on the city street, just like this one. So on this street, autopilot is available, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double tap on the gear selector, and now autopilot is on. So as you can see, it's able to identify what the speed limit is. As you can see, it's 45 miles per hour, and it can drive up to 50 miles per hour. That's the maximum it can drive. So if you do not hold the steering, after a while, then you're going to get that blinking blue light, which is going to tell you that you need to have your hands on the steering. And if you do not, it's going to beep just like it did. But what happens if you continually just ignore it? If you ignore it after a while, then the car is just gradually going to go to a stop. So I think it's just to make sure that people do not put the car on autopilot and then maybe go to the back seat and they're taking a nap. So that is one, I'll say, one feature about Teslas. So right now the car is still driving itself, and you can tell that on the screen that the blue steering wheel is highlighted and it's driving at 50 miles per hour. So at every light it has a tendency of stopping. So like this light coming right here, it would beep and gradually slow down, telling you that it's going to stop at the light. So it would require the driver's permission to continue. And in order to approve that, all I need to do is just step on the gas pedal. Then it's just gonna say, okay, it's green. Okay, it's just gonna proceed. So as you can see right now, it's pretty much driving according to the speed limit of the street. If there's a vehicle in front of you, then it's just gonna slow down. If there's no vehicle, then it's just gonna pick it up. So as you can see right now, and still the way you can tell that autopilot is on is with this blue steering wheel. If it's blue, then the autopilot is on, the car is driving itself. And now it's gradually slowing down. As you can tell, it's driving at 30 miles per hour now, and pretty much just following this car right in front of me. And one thing autopilot can do, it can also switch lanes by itself. So right now I just navigate it and it just switched lanes by itself. So that's pretty cool. So a light is coming up, so it's gradually slowing down, saying it wants to stop. And if the light turns red, then you're gonna see that the car pretty much just stops by itself. So when the light turns green, I'll have to confirm for the car to proceed by stepping on the accelerator pedal. Okay, there it is. You can see the light turning green here. So I step on the pedal and the car is just going to proceed. So obviously on the city streets, you can tell that the car has a tendency of stopping at every light, irrespective of the color. If it's green or yellow or red, it wants to stop there unless you tell it to confirm. If it is green and you tell the car to proceed, then it's going to proceed. If it is red, then the car is going to stop. Just automatic. And I think it's a safety feature just to make sure that, you know, the driver pretty much is interacting with the car. So we have this car right in front of me, so you can tell that the car is just, you know, just slowing down, driving according to the traffic. Okay, I think that was it pretty much for the city streets. So let's take it on the freeway and see how autopilot behaves on the freeway. One thing I obviously want to mention here is that sometimes the car just randomly brakes for pretty much no reason, and it pretty much just slows down. Maybe it sees something, and it's kind of hard to really tell what triggers it to slow down. So I think that's one thing that Tesla really needs to work on, because out of nowhere you're just gonna have, like, you know, the car slowing down. Maybe it sees like a huge shadow and it thinks it's an object. It just slows down. So I have identified that a couple of times. I think it's better for the car to slow down than to make an assumption that it's not an object and it just runs through the object. So it's just, I guess it's just a security or safety feature implemented. Okay, here we are on the freeway, and I'm gonna go ahead and engage autopilot and let's see how it works. So the same principle on the freeway. Well, the main difference here is going to be that on the city street, the most it can drive is going to be 5 miles per hour above speed limit. But on the freeway, you can pretty much have autopilot on at pretty much any speed. So I'm going to go ahead and switch lanes here. So as you can see, it's switching lanes by itself. And if there's a car on the blind spot, then you can see, like, you know, cars that are moving around, then you can actually see that there as well. So there is an oncoming traffic right up there. Let's see how autopilot is going to behave to that. Right now it's driving at 75 miles per hour. Now let's see if it's gonna adjust to this oncoming traffic. So right now you see it just slowed down by itself. I didn't touch anything, and it's just pretty much just adjusting. That actually slowed down very fast, and that is really impressive. Like how, you know, cars can drive from 75 miles per hour all the way down to like 12 or 15 miles per hour. So that was actually good. So right now it's driving according to the traffic. As you can see here, there's a lot of traffic, and the car is pretty much just adjusting itself. Okay, now that we've tested this on the freeway, the next thing I would like to test out is how does it work on a road that is initially marked. Then down the road you realize that the road is no longer marked. So how will AutoPilot behave on that? AutoPilot actually requires the driver to interact with the steering or with the car every now and then. So it's going to give you, you know, a signal for you to put your hands on the steering, like just touch it for a little bit, just to make sure that you're still here. What actually happens if the driver decides not to touch the steering? What's gonna happen? I'm gonna try that now, and let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, AutoPilot, let's turn it on. So now it's on. I'm gonna take off my hands from the steering. I'm not gonna touch the steering at all. Now let's see what happens. Okay, as you can see on the screen, I'm getting a signal that I should just touch the steering to make sure that I'm still here. But I'm gonna deliberately not touch the steering. So I get another warning. As you can see here, that the hands are red, expecting me to, like, you know, hold the steering. But let's see, I'm saying no to that now. As you can see, the entire steering is red, and the car hazard lights are on, as you can see here, and then the car is completely came to a stop. So I think it's an amazing feature. So, and this is gonna happen just in case someone falls asleep and maybe it's not interacting with the car, then the car is gonna stop. As you can see, it stopped in the middle of the road. And the beep sound is going to continue probably till, I don't know, till probably you wake up or you come back to the car. Okay, let's take it off. So which means now I have full control of the car. Okay, I already know that this street right here, the road is initially marked, but down the street there are no lines at all. So I want to try AutoPilot here and actually see how it's going to behave. You know, how it's going to transition from a road that is marked to a road that is unmarked. Now let's see how this one goes. So AutoPilot is on here. So as you can see on the street right now, the road is unmarked. There are no lines at all. So, but AutoPilot is still on. I really just want to see what's gonna happen. So it looks like it does like this two blue lines, like imaginary lines. I guess it just reads that. And there's an upcoming stop sign. So clearly it's able to identify that stop sign, and it's gonna stop right here. And if you step on the gas pedal, on the accelerator, then the car is going to continue. So whenever you're at a stop sign, you have to step on the accelerator for it to continue. And right now the road is still unmarked. It's kind of interesting how it's doing its thing, and autopilot is still on, as you can see here. Let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, it's still driving. Yeah, honestly, I think this is amazing. You know, autopilot still works even on roads that are unmarked. But if you initially get on a road that has no lines, autopilot is not available. But if you happen to, like, you know, you're driving on a road that is marked, and it transitions to a road that is completely unmarked, then as you could see, autopilot still works on that. So overall, I think this feature on a Tesla is just amazing. And if you enjoyed the content of this video, please do not forget to support the channel by, you know, subscribing to the channel, and obviously giving it a like for this video. You know, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And if you're in the market for a Tesla, please make sure you use the referral link I'm going to put on the screen, so you can get 1,000 miles of free supercharge. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.